First, let me take this opportunity to welcome you all. And today, in fact, it is primarily the session which was not really being planned. And I just thought to, do this session for the reason because this is something I'm really passionate about it. And this is something that I really wanted to actually give you an idea about the complete business plan and the complete profitable model. How does this work? So ultimately, today what we're going to be talking about is a little different, but at the same time, you would understand how this typical thing that we are going to talk about today, which I call it online education center. In fact, I also call it, speed learning academy. So what is it and how does it really benefit and all the stuff and how you can make a business out of it is complete roadmap that you're going to be doing that today. Now, whole idea is that I want it to be a completely experiential workshop. Therefore, I call this as a workshop. Otherwise, webinars, may last in about for 60 minutes, but this is precisely not going to be a webinar. This is going to be a workshop, and you will have a mix of like a webinar and a workshop because there would be some experiential things that you'll be learning. And this is the first time that I would also be sharing with you certain memory technique and certain aspects of life which are very important. And that itself, even if you attend the webinar till the end, I think gonna be a great value add to your life, right? So with this, let's get started. Step-by-step process to set up in speed learning. Earlier, I was talking about a online education center, but don't get confused. Online education center, I've given it a new name in April 2023, and that is called the Speed Learning Academy. Because I could relate more the name of this particular program shall be Speed Learning Academy, and perhaps you can keep any name that you wanted for that matter. All right, so you already know about it, about me. I think you have, because I've conducted so many webinars, so I'm sure one or the other webinar you would have already attended. But for the people who are new for Atmada, let me help you to understand. We were formally being incorporated in 28 July 2015, though we have been operating for almost about 12 years now. Trained 10,000 plus kids and 1,000 plus adults, 1,000 plus trusted business partner. Now we have, in fact, more than 2,000 business partners with us. We experienced the 10x growth during the lockdown. We have 40 plus products and programs today, and therefore, like I keep on conducting a various sessions that are every Saturday and Sunday. There's some other session that I normally conduct. 100 plus midbrain activation workshops I've already conducted, plus 1,000 plus career counseling. Counselings has been done individually by me and my team. If you really talk about it, we have done it over 50,000 total counselings. So this is what the achievements, or this is what you can say is the kind of a background that we have it. I am certified in NLP, certified in midbrain activation, psychometric, and DMIT. I'm a memory master and speed reading trainer, international business coach, student empowerment coach, and personality development. These are the things which I'm actively doing. Other than that, I got other interest also, but yeah, these are the things which I'm very, very actively doing it. So this is something brief about my profiling. In our team, we have a team of about 12 people, and we have psychologists, psychiatrists, academicians, trainers, neuroscientists, and mind programmers. They're also associated with us, when we develop the product or the program, and that is the point of time, where we come together, we have the brainstorming sessions, and the people, what are the department that they handle accordingly, like, they take up that task, and like ultimately a great product in terms of a great courseware, I mean, that really comes in, right? Which is there to impact the life. So that's the trend normally that we have been there. And therefore, we call our organization called Mindtree Research and Development Private Limited, because research and development is a constant thing that we do. Now, most important thing is why Speed Learning Academy. Now, Speed Learning Academy, if you really talk about it, actually, you want a profitable digital business with the following expectations, right? I mean, everybody want that the business that you do is should be having a less risk or no risk for that matter. It should be profitable. You start making money in a very short span of time. So let's understand, what if I share with you a win-win value proposition to earn 2 lakh per month for a small investment? If I show you a way today, would you be interested? So that is what exactly we are here from. So if you are ready, so let's start. The two things that you would require out of it, like the skills that you require, the basic computing skill. Basic computing skill means If you can operate the internet and you can actually open the Zoom and just get connected, or maybe operate an Excel, that is all that you require, nothing more than that. Second thing is the passion for training. You need to have a passion for training, right? I mean, if you have a passion for training and if you can really, conduct a session with a few kids online and offline both, so I think this is the session for you, for that matter. Now let's talk about yeah, so that matter, like, what is in it for you? Like, uh, online and offline both formats. Why I say, online education center or Speed Learning Academy is a great business choice, because you can do it online and you can do it offline. We are offering you the product which are kind of a monopoly product, because when you combine two products together, it becomes a monopoly product. It has got a huge global market potential, because when we do it online, there are no boundaries, and when there are no boundaries, you can actually reach the global level. Digital products are there. So, I mean, obviously, you don't have to keep on purchasing and go and physically buy the product, the damaged product, stuff like that. Zero product manufacturing cost. It's just one time buy, and again you're delivering the product. So I think with zero cost, I mean, for example, if you buy a mobile, if you're a trader for a mobile, you will buy and keep a margin and then sell. So that margin is the one that you have to actually take your expenses and profitability in. But herein we are talking about the only thing that you will have to spend is into the marketing. Rest is your profit. Zero product manufacturing cost, no revenue sharing. You are going to have your own brand, so you don't have to pay any royalty, no franchisee, no hard selling. It's very respectful, highly profitable business, and I'll show you how. Scalable business, you can scale it to any level that you wanted. No brand sharing, as I said, accountability partner. You have a mentor who would support you in that, right? So these are the things, benefits, which I feel are a great benefits to start this business. Within this workshop, learn step-by-step process to set up a profitable Speed Learning Academy, and that's what now we are doing. So my journey, I'll just very briefly share. I think often I share, but today I would like to understand, if at all, my journey. How did I actually started this? So my son, who is Vishwam and Ojasvi in 2011, there was a situation where I had to raise my kids single-handedly along with my parents. So that point of time, because my corporate work, job demanded so much, I couldn't really spend time at all, with my kids. And gradually I saw that my kids started scoring very poor, and that became a cause of worry. They were not speaking to anybody, their confidence level was shattered. Teachers were constantly calling me for a PTM, and they were constantly complaining, and there were a lot, we had to go through, and my kids had to go through. And so, I mean, to an extent where teachers started saying, I mean, do they have the learning disability? Why don't you show it to the psychiatrist or the psychologist and all the stuff? I was completely in a very bad situation, because I couldn't have expected my kids to be like that. However, it's I realized one thing, it's never been I just worked with my kids, and I just realized they were normal brains. It is only like their confidence level had shattered, because they were being mistreated into the class because of poor performance, and they were not speaking. And therefore, I realized ki fine, it can never be a learning disability. As the teacher says, it's always, if at all there is a disability, that's called the teaching disability. So with this, I took the I started researching and speaking to principals, speaking to psychologists, speaking to various people who have been educationists, to find a solution how I can do better with my kids. And that's when what happens was I realized that right now they're at the bottom. If I want to take them to the top, and that was the challenge that I took, that I'll take them to the top level. Now, when they were at the bottom five, I had to raise them to the this thing. So there has to be, it's something like, for example, you have to overcross a lot of people. For example, if two people are racing, you have to race against the other person, right? If the crowd is already reached at a level, the students are already at a level which is an average level. So this person who is at the back will have to run faster than the people who are running, and then only you'll be able to reach it. So it is a speed learning. So you'll have to learn the things very fast. That was something that I realized, and I realized speed learning ke there are three R formula. One is read, one is retain, and one is recall. When you read, you get the information. When you retain, you have to memorize the information. When you recall, you have to write the information. These three R is very, very important. If you're able to actually learn something out of it, I think that's a great show. But then there was a gap, there was a gap. And the gap was this, that fine, for example, if I want to learn, I want to learn reading, how would I learn reading? I can only learn reading when I have to go to any expert who can teach me the speed reading. But then if I really go back and I say, "Okay, fine, if I want to retain the information onto my brain, what do I have to do? I have to learn the memory techniques. So when I'll have to learn the memory technique for retention, I'll have to go to separate guru who teaches me a memory technique. Now for recall, which can be done by the brain mapping or a mind mapping, you will have to actually like go deep dive into your brain and just, like you will have to do something about it. Now for recall, I would have to like, have my brain functioning better, and the two hemispheres, the space, brain has to correspond and communicate with each other better, right? So recall can really happen that way. Okay, recall can happen really that way. So for which I would require a separate training, which is generally can be done from the midbrain activation. So my challenge was, for three things I'll have to go to three different experts, and that was the biggest challenge. And this is what something that I found it as a gap. I said, I mean, there's no structured program or a curriculum which is there, either taught by school or taught by any institute or private institutes for that matter. So that is a gap where, there's no structured program under one umbrella which is there, which can actually be offered to my kids. And that's when I started working upon, the very first thing I identified was, what are the learning skills? Now this is very important. When we talk about a learning skills, I think yeah, we find that there were seven skills, eight skills which are very important for that matter. And with like speaking to a couple of people and couple of people who have been like the authority in this industry, and they understand the child psychology, and they understand how the learning works and the stuff like that. So like I spoke to them and I realized that there's so many skills out of it. There are eight skills which are very, very important skills. If you're able to inculcate this, every child, every student, if is able to inculcate these skills, the skills in them, they would actually have a faster learning, or you can say their learning time will cut down by half. So whatever that they learn in 2 hours time will be happening in 1 hour's time, and that is something I could know that is a great thing. And I thought like, let's just discuss about it. And these were wheel of life, goal setting, mind mapping, speed reading, memory technique. There are three memory techniques, and neuro linguistic programming. These are the eight different techniques that I freeze down and zeroed down to. Right now, having said that, now it's when I actually practiced this for a long time, with them for a couple of days, in like couple of months rather, and I actually like consciously started spending time with them to ensure that they are able to learn. The learnability became, fashion for them. They started loving it. They started loving reading and learning. I mean, that is what exactly is the visible change that I could see. And that's when I felt, if it can happen to my kids, why can't it happen to the other kids also? And that was the eureka moment for me, I said. And like after, after 6 months rather, when I saw that, I mean, these kids who were basically from the bottom five, they actually ranked like 2000, like, they were basically being ranked among the top five, and that was the position that they could score. And that was again and again eureka moment. And I said, this is something which is not taught. This is something which has to be taught to the students. There are 25 crore students in our in India, and everybody requires a study skills. Every student requires study skills. Irony is this, that no one actually teaches them that, whether it's a school, whether it's anybody else, and nobody teaches them, right? And we expect them to have a great results. This is the photograph of 2011 for me, and this is the photograph of 2023, right? These very kids, when my daughter was in first class, now she has passed in like 18, now she's 18 years. And last year, I mean, like this year itself, like she has passed the 12th class, and now she has flown to USA for software engineering. And my son, like, he's now 22. In fact, yesterday he became 22, and now is the time when, like, he has just completed his graduation, and he's doing his masters now. He's going for a master. So ultimately, at the end of it, what I can really tell you is like there's been a great confidence in them today. They are one of the most confident kids around. I would not say the most studious kids, I would not say the most talented kids, but they are a very balanced kids, and that's what exactly it is. So what I'm trying to say is, like, from that level to this level, bringing them, there has been a journey for it. I mean, that's all I wanted to share with you. Now let's understand, when this happened, I said let's launch Mindpriest was born, with a vision. And thank you, Nisha, for your wishes. So this is what it is. So learning skills, I would say, I mean, like, let's talk about a wheel of life, what these learning skills are. And I would also teach you today, I mean, I would like you to experience, because nothing better than the experience that you can have it. So very first thing is the wheel of life, right? Wheel of student life. What is wheel of student life, for example? So wheel of student life क्या होता है कि this is, whether it's you or it's me or anybody else or it's student, for everybody, the balancing is the key, right? We all need to have a lot of aspects of ours which has to be balanced. For example, if I ask you, if you got a lot of money but your health is shattered, it's not supporting you, it's bad, what will happen? Would you like that kind of a life? I don't think so, right? If your health is great but you hardly have a money to even travel or to enjoy the life, would you really love that life? I don't think so. If you have a lot of money, but if you want to, if you don't have a time to travel, you'll still not enjoy. If you have a time to travel but doesn't have a money, still you'll not enjoy, right? If you have a lot of money, luxury cars, I mean, you can't even count your money, but don't have a relationship, don't have a friend circle, don't have a somebody to love you, would you be interested? I don't think that's going to be there. So happiness doesn't come with, like, one single thing. Happiness comes with the balancing of life, and that's called wheel of student life, wheel of life, right? Let's understand that a little better. So what happens is, when you talk about a quadrants, like wheel of life has got generally about 8 quadrants. You can have 7, you can have 6. When you design your wheel of life, you can have any number of this thing. And generally, they are circle and circle and circles and circle, concentric circles. And these are, like, then we, in this, we have shown the scale of 0 to 14, but you can have a scale of 0 to 10. Now, one aspect is talent. You need to develop the talent, because anywhere you go, for that matter, into the public gathering, you want to demonstrate the talent. The sports is another thing, right? Some people are, the sports is something which will keep you active. It will develop your kinesthetic ability. It will develop your stamina. So that's very important. Health. I mean, what you eat, how you eat, what quantity you eat, and all this stuff. Health is very important, right? What do you do for health? Do you do cycling? Do you do swimming? Do you do jogging? Do you do play cricket or anything else for that matter? Family, like, what kind of a bonding the family has got it? I mean, do you really get that what you need to have it from the family? Friend circle, do you really have a friend circle, or are you a loner? You're sitting always onto the mobile and just like you've got that virtual world. Social responsibilities, are you able to cater to the social responsibilities? Are you really adding a value into somebody's life, for that matter? So I think these all things are extremely important. Now what happens is, studies, yeah, studies. I mean, nobody can deny the fact that studies are the most one of the most important thing, and knowledge and skills. You need to constantly be developing a knowledge and the skill. The way you are doing right now by attending a webinar, you are actually developing your skills. No matter what, I mean, no matter you get into this business or not, important is that you're learning something. So when we talk about a wheel of life, these are the 8 aspects which are very important for you as well as for child. So if you draw your wheel of life, you would have a similar wheel of life. Maybe like, something may change with the money, like, because for you, your responsibility is to earn money, or maybe the career, for that matter. The student wheel of life will be something like this. So you can choose what you write and what aspect you want to write, and you can, what you do is, you can actually, like, rate it, like, from, you can mark it that where are you currently. For example, when it comes to talent, from 0 to 10 or 0 to 14, where are you at 12, are you at 10, are you at 8? When you talk about sports, how satisfied are you, or do you really play? When you talk about health, how satisfied, I mean, where do you rate yourself from 0 to 14? I mean, something like that. Family or friends or social responsibility, study, from 0 to 14, where do you rate yourself, at 14, at 12, at 10, or wherever? So when you put up pointers for various things, various aspects that you are satisfied with, when you put a pointer at a various thing and combine it together, that is the way, like, you come to, you come to know that it's kind of a cobweb, it will become a cobweb. It will not be a great circle. It's not round. In some areas you'll be at 6, some areas you'll be at 8, some areas you'll be at 12. So differently. So you would be able to identify which are the areas to be worked upon, which are the areas which are completely weak, and which are the areas which are reasonable average, which are the areas which are great. So you don't really work out on all the areas together. You identify 2 or 3 areas and give 3 months time and start working on that and create an action plan. So this is what is the purpose of a wheel of life, and it's a great tool. There are a lot of apps which are free apps which are available, and you can do that. And I suggest that you should do it. In fact, you should do this wheel of life, for yourself, because it's a great tool for you to have a balanced life and a happy life. I call life as L stands for landing, E, that is LIFE. E stands for ending, and in between there's something called the if. What is that if? If is, if I were born rich, I would have never had to work, and like I would have been happy. This is, so if I had a great partner, like, I mean, there wouldn't have been any kind of an issues, and I could have gathered strength to do anything. I could achieve anything in this whole world. If, for that matter, I had a talent where I had a great voice, I could actually shine and earn fame in this whole world and could sing so very well, and I had a fan following. So these ifs, because we always feel we can only be happy, and we join those things with the events, right? That if this happens, so life ka L is landing, E is ending, khatam ho gaya. But in between there's a if. If ye hota to ye hota, if ye hota to ye hota. This is what exactly we do. So what I'm talking about today is कि वो जो ifs हैं वो इन्हीं quadrant के अंदर से आते हैं. They come from these quadrant, and the weaker quadrant को आप अपना set कर सकते हैं, अपना improve कर सकते हैं, right? That's the thing. That's the thing, right? So this is one thing. Now, if you have decided कि ये 3 areas and these are 3 areas that you have to improve upon, then second aspect, which is very important, is a goal setting. Goal setting is just not like fine, you have to do this and this goal is set, or we say ki specific, smart, measurable and stuff like that. That's not goal setting. Goal setting has the right process, and you have to adopt that process to set the goal. Goal setting is not to be done by somebody who has been aiming for something really high. Even if you are spending a day, in your day you spend, you have so many small goals that you set it every day, you know so you set a goal that I want to complete 10,000 steps. You set a goal that I would get up early in the morning at 5 o'clock. You set up a goal that I want to really like be conscious about my health and do something. You set up a goal that I want to do something to basically get into a business, and by my birthday I'm gonna be doing my business and I launch my business or whatever. So you have the goals, you derive that goals, right? So that's extremely important. So this is something which has to be learned by the kids. We can't expect that they would already know how to set up the goal, because they had to set up the goals more than what we do. Then third thing which comes in the mind mapping, and that's a great tool. you know it's something like that. For example, if you had to organize an information into your brain, like if let's say you have something like a desktop, and desktop is looking something like this, and you have to search for a file. It is very difficult if you don't even know what name of the file that you have kept it. Otherwise you can go to search bar and do that. But if you don't know what's going to happen, it's like, it's this is your desktop, and to search file you'll have to really spend a lot of time onto finding it out, and you might open couple of files for admin and just do that, right? And but if you are able to structure the information into your mind and like create folders and subfolders within, I think that makes a beautiful thing. That will actually like help you to organize the information. So when we have to organize the information, it is easier for you to find the information. Similarly, if you really want to organize the information into your mind, you have to use the technique called goal setting. For example, if you talk about this particular thing, this is called mind mapping. And mind mapping, there are a lot of different open softwares, free software which are available for that matter, and there are a lot of other software which are available, which are paid one. But every software has got some, they have a basic thing which is always free for that matter. So, you have, it's something like you have the main this thing, and that's some, for example, if a student is creating a timetable, and he has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you have the complete all these subjects, and you want to define that when would I do algebra on Monday, what will I do, what are the things I'll do, Tuesday what I'll do, Wednesday what I'll do. So you have a curriculum and you basically design into it, and the amount of time that you spend, and maybe is the link that you want to actually like have, you can have a links over here. So ultimately one single thing which will actually give you an overview that this is my timetable, and by looking that is there into your brain, you don't have to really note it down. So perhaps this mind mapping really helps you to organize the information, right? So this is the thing. It's a great tool, to organize the information. So sometime have you seen that what happened? The child has got a lot of knowledge, but when he goes to the examination hall, he forgets about he forgets he forgets, he's not able to recall the information, though a person has studied. This morning, a child has studied, goes to the examination hall, and a person is completely blank, because what is happening is the information which is there, he's not able to recall that information, or she's not able to recall that information. If you exercise mind of mapping, what will happen is, you are able to create that flow and that cobweb, and you are able to reach that destination no matter at first level, second level, third level, fourth level, fifth level. Wherever the information is stored, the mind will have a capacity through mind mapping to actually like recall and retain that information. Right? That's the tool, that's the power of a tool. Speed reading. There are a lot of people who says, ki fine, like, I mean, how do we read today? We read word by word, isn't it? We have been taught when we were into the kindergarten that we read word by word. But is that the right way? I mean, you can only read 250, 300, 400 words per minute, if at all you are reading it that way. But there are people who got a record in Guinness Book of World Record that's 25,000 words per minute. How do you do that actually? Like 25,000 words per minute? Are we joking? I mean, these are world records. You can search on the Google, right? Guinness Book of World Record, 25,000 words per minute. And how much people read normally? 250 words per minute on an average we read. That's the average. The great average is like 350. I mean, 400 is considered to be great. But then ultimately, speed reading does not ever mean that the content, the comprehension of the content will be lesser. If you read faster, then you will not be able to memorize better. No. Idea is you read better and comprehend better. Both the things together, right? Now, what formula does the speed reading work? I want you to read that, right? Can you read that? Just type down into the chat window if you can read that. And what is it written? What is it written? So it says things can appear difficult when you first look at them, but a little effort can help you see better, right? Everybody can read. Absolutely. But right, everybody can read. Now, what is the difference? Let's understand that. When we say we all can read this, it is it is primarily the first letter and the last letter in most of the cases, you know, is same, and in between the letters are jumbled, right? But still you can read it, which primarily means that we don't need to read the complete sentence in a page. When you read the last letter and the last letter on the left and right, or the last two letter in the left and right, the beach ka jo hota hai na, like the mind has got a power to take it. Something called the peripheral vision. For example, if I'm looking in the camera or onto the computer laptop, on my left is the light, on my left is a like is the book which is being kept. On my right, there are other objects which are there. Now that's also coming into my periphery business, though my focus is not that. My focus is my laptop and I'm talking to you. But that's automatically being captured by it. Similarly, while you concentrate onto the middle thing, let's for example, if the line has got 10 words, and if I concentrate onto the three words which are there in the between, and I just read middle three words and go vertically down, I still, with a little effort and practice, I would still be able to make the same meaning out of it, which I would have made out by reading entire book. Sometimes you would have seen that you go and join the movie, half the movie is already gone by, and then you join it in between. But still, by the end of the movie, you knew complete movie, though you have missed the half movie, but still you're able to do it, right? So that is the power of it. But these are techniques which are not being taught to us. And how important it is. Imagine if the child comprehend better and learn faster. How would that be? I mean, the child learnability will become half. He will have more time to spend elsewhere, isn't it? If a child reads for 2 hours and study for 2 hours, a child will complete that work in 1 hour. He will save 1 hour for a lifetime. That's the idea we are talking about, right? Now let's talk about a memory technique. Come on, something interesting. I really want to take you to this journey. Okay. Are you ready to learn the memory technique? Are you interested to learn the memory technique, right? This is the first time ever I'm giving you this live and with a very small audience today because it was a very select people that I've actually sent it across this message to as a trial. I just wanted to see, like, and I wanted to give you certain experiences, right? And experiences come with a smaller group. So 5 to 7, I mean, like, let's talk about a memory technique. If I ask you, friends, if this is what it is in front of you, and if you have to remember this, I'll give you 1 minute, complete 1 minute, okay? And you just have to remember that, but you don't have to remember that that way. You have to remember that, ki first pe kya hai. If I ask you what is there in the 13th, you should be able to say it's notebook. If I say what is there in the 15th, you say it should is this thing. So it's a number wise you should remember. So if you are able to do it, I would be great, but don't write it down, huh? Because you can very well write it down, I know, isn't it? You can write it down, and I won't even come to know about it, right? So let's not be child who cheats. Let's be honest to each other, okay? So if you just remember that, I mean, just like do that. I mean, I want to see. I'm giving you a time, and the time has already started for that matter. Watch it carefully. Remember number wise. All right. Now, do you remember if I ask you, now, if I ask you, I mean, what is on number 8? Will Can anybody tell me? I want you to be honest. All right. Tiffin. Okay. Number 10 में क्या है? Tiffin है. Number 8 में tiffin है. Okay. Right. If I say yes, okay. What is it number 12? Anybody? What is it number 12? Bottle. What is it number 17? 17 पे क्या है?
Belt,
Sorry?
belt.
Belt. Okay. What is it number 4? Piano.
While नहीं.
All right. So it's a little tough. Let's say, I mean, the idea is key, like, I mean, though we had sufficient time, but yeah, it's a little tough to do that, right? I mean, we can't really do that. So let me share. Would you like to learn a technique which will help you to learn even 100 digit number, 100 such numbers? You would be able to actually like do that. Like, for example, if I want to remember the prime minister, who's the first prime minister, who's the 19th, and who's the 20th prime minister, you can do that. So I'm just giving an example. If you take a grocery list, so if you were to learn this a technique, and you would understand how these techniques are so effective and so powerful in helping the child to study better and remember the things for life, right? So let's learn, but before we learn the technique, we have to understand there are 20 words that we are talking about it. And we'll just do that a little quickly because the objective is not only to learn the technique, but also to understand the complete stuff, how it happens, right? So here we are talking about a shape, like it's a shape method. What do you call it? So this is called a peg words. This is called a peg words, and this is called a peg technique, right? So one is what? One is one is stick. One is stick. One looks like a stick. Completely agree? So this is because one has got a shape like a stick. So one is stick here. Okay. Two. Two looks like a duck, isn't it? Two looks like a duck. So two is duck. So what we are doing is we are associating an object with a number. As of now, we are doing this. Three takes a shape of a heart which is sleeping, actually, in a way. So three is heart. Okay. Now coming to four. What is four? Four looks like a chair. Four looks like a chair, and otherwise also the chair has got four legs, right? Five looks like a hook. Hook पे किसी ने टांगा हुआ है कुछ, we are hanging something onto the hook. So five has got a shape of a hook. Six is hockey stick, right? Six has a shape of a hockey stick. Seven is like a lamp post. वो आपका, like you have that the street पे you have a lamp post, na? I mean, so it's something similar to that, right? Seven has got that kind of a thing. Now coming to eight, eight is spectacles. Eight looks like a spectacles. Gandhi ji ka chashma. Ninth is like a lollipop. Nine looks like a lollipop, right? And 10 looks like a bat ball. 1 and 0, it looks like 1 looks like bat, and 0, it looks like a bat ball, right? Or a cricket or a bat ball, we can say. So this is what we have remembered, right? So 1 looks like a stick, 2 like a duck because the shape, 3 is like a heart, 4 because there are 4 legs to the chair. 5 has got a shape of a hook. 6 is basically a hockey stick. And 7 is lamppost. 8 is spectacles because the shape 9 like a lollipop, and 10 is like a bat ball. Okay. Now let's say if we have to, let's say whether you remember this. Now what is 1? You can either open the mic and say that, right? What is 1?
Stick.
2,
Duck.
3.
Heart. Sleeping heart.
Right. You can say heart. No worry. 4.
Table.
Chair.
Chair.
Chair. 5.
Hook.
Hook. Right. 6.
Hockey bat, hockey bat.
Right. 7.
Hockey stick.
7. Yeah. 6 is hockey stick. 7.
Lamp, light.
Lamppost.
Lamppost.
Right. Absolutely. The one which is then the street. 8.
Spectacles.
Specs,
Right. 9.
Lollipop.
lollipop.
And 10.
Bat
ball.
ball.
And ball.
Bat ball.
Great. Now let's come back and learn another 10. 11 to 20. Right. 11 is like a road because it's parallel. So 11 is like a road. 12, if you make it like this, it takes a shape of a cap. Okay, so 12 is like a cap. 11 is like a road, 12 is like a cap. 13, 1 and 3. If you join 1 and 3, what will happen? It will become B, and B is for butterfly. And otherwise also it will take a shape of a butterfly. So 1 and 3 is 13. If you join that, it will become B, B for butterfly, and it also is the shape of a butterfly. And we are going by shape today. Boat, 14. 1 ko, if you just make it sleep and 4 is on the top of it, it becomes a yacht, and we can call it comfortably as boat. So 14 is boat. 15, if you tilt it a little and it will something like become like a cigar pipe की तरह लगता है, right? 16 is more like a 6 is like a elephant trunk, isn't it? So 16 is like an elephant trunk. 17 is if you join 1 and 7 it becomes triangle and it's like a sand. 18 1 and 8 if you join 18 it will be like a sand clock, right? A timer, sand timer you can say. 19 is like a compass because आप ऊपर से इसको घुमाते हैं, like you know it takes a kind of a shape of a this thing. अगर 9 को हम ऐसे वाला 9 नहीं है सीधे वाला straight वाला करें तो it is something like a compass, right? And 20 takes a shape of a scooter. 20 is like a scooter. So I'll just repeat. 11 is like a road. 11 has got a shape of a road. 12 is a cap. 13 is butterfly. 14 is boat. 15 is cigar pipe. 16 is elephant trunk. 17 is sandwich. 18 is sand timer. 19 is compass and 20 is scooter. I think you have already got it, right? Now, if I ask you quickly, I think you will be able to reply. Let's say, what is 11?
Road.
12,
Cap.
13,
Butterfly.
Butterfly.
14, yes, 14,
Yacht.
yacht or boat, you can say. 15, 15,
Cigar.
cigar pipe.
Pipe.
16,
Elephant trunk.
17,
Sandwich.
Sandwich.
okay, 18,
Sand timer.
Timer.
timer,
Timer.
sand timer, right. And 19
Compass.
and 20,
Scooter.
Scooter.
4, quickly,
Chair.
chair. 8,
Spectacles.
13,
Butterfly.
Butterfly.
and 17.
Sandwich.
So you can comfortably do that because you have been able to actually like do that because you have actually, because the shape you remember them very well, right? Now what we need to do is my question was that what is there in which number? Now let's say let's use this technique to learn that. Now what we have to do is while we talk about a memory जो रहती है बहुत strong वो होती है like the first language that you do, the first, give me a moment, somebody's mic is on, Trisha. Okay, so the first language that you do, you would have seen that the mother tongue that we learn is one thing that's we are most comfortable with. But the other language that we learn later, we are not that comfortable, but we are there with the mother tongue. You know why? Because mother tongue is a picture language. While we are being taught the first language, it is by the way of picture. We show the apple and we say this is apple or this is सेब है ये, you know. तो जब हम वो जो पिक्चर लैंग्वेज होती है ना वो हमको बहुत कंफर्टेबल होती है. तो मेमोरी इज ऑल अबाउट द विजुअलाइजेशन एंड एसोसिएशन. हमको विजुअलाइज करना पड़ता है और उसको एसोसिएट करना पड़ता है. दीज आर द ओनली टू थिंग्स इन मेमोरी. And the great memories are a trained memory. It's not a natural memory. These are trained memories. So how will you do that? For example, if I have to say कि 1, हम 1 to 10 करते हैं, हम सारा नहीं करेंगे, it will be a time consuming. I just need to actually help you to understand the concept of it. So 1 में हमारा क्या था? Stick था, right? Now यहाँ पे क्या है? Lamp है. So what we have to do is we have to link stick with a lamp. Because हमको पता है 1 पे stick है, अब stick को lamp से वो करना है. So just imagine, and we have to be very, very creative in imagining. We have to be very funny in imagining. We have to be very unique in imagining. You don't have to really be imagining the normal stuff. You have to imagine something which is out of the world, For example, if this is the lamp and the moment you switch on the lamp, there are a lot of small like sticks, the matchstick, that is coming out. There are a lot of, the moment you switch on the lamp, there are a lot of matchstick which is coming out. Now, because stick is something that we remember, so we will be able to remember that where it is coming out from the lamp, right? So that's the we will remember. Number 2. Second is we say कि fine, हमारा second में क्या था? Duck था. Now, can you imagine this laptop, where this laptop is like this only, but on the keyboard, there's a duck which is sitting. Create that and visualize that. Then on this laptop, on the keyboard, the duck, a beautiful white colored duck is sitting on that. right? Coming to third is the mobile, right? We have a mobile. So mobile में क्या है? हमारा third पे क्या था? Heart था. So can you imagine a mobile of a heart shape? A heart shaped mobile. Just imagine when 3 comes in, you will remember what? Heart. And heart shaped mobile. So this link you have to create it. Fourth comes in chair. So chair में क्या था हमारा? Chair में we had chair है ना हमारा? Chair में यहाँ पे what we have it is like keyboard. So this is a magical chair. What happens is anybody who sits on that particular chair and plays the keyboard, even if the person doesn't know how to play a keyboard, the finger automatically runs on that and there's a great music that comes out of it, right? So that's the way we have to remember. And now comes to 5. Next 5 मैं आपसे करवाऊंगा. Next is 5. 5 is the eraser. हमारा क्या है 5? Hook है, right? There's a hook and there's a eraser. So we can say on a hook, there's a hook in which there's a eraser, or eraser is in shape of a hook. Let's put it this way. Eraser is in shape of a hook, right? So that's the way we associate, right? So now let's do the next 5 and let you do it. हमारा 6 पे क्या है? 6 is hockey stick. Now can anybody relate hockey stick with the mic? Quickly, very quickly.
Announcements and all, everything made by the mic, like for the match or anything.
So hockey match ke liye there was an announcement happening with the mic, is what you've said, right? Okay.
Yes.
Seventh is we have got seventh pe hamara kya tha? What was the thing? It was lamppost.
Lamp.
And now we have a football. So can anybody connect these two things? Any imagination in your mind?
Bulb. The bulb in the lamp is round.
Is in form of a football, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. Now coming to 8th. 8th is lunchbox. And what we have it is here is the spectacles, right? Now spectacles and lunchbox. Can we create some imagination there?
See
Healthy
tasty
food for
food.
better eyes.
Sorry? Come up again.
Healthy food for better eyes.
Healthy food for better eyes, yes. But try to create something little more funny.
Funny.
Other guys also, yeah, please, yeah, yes, say.
A big spectacle eating its tiffin.
Yeah, that can be funny, right? Absolutely. Great, take care. So 9th, let's come to 9th. 9th is what? 9th we have it is lollipop, right? And lollipop mein scale and lollipop. Can we connect that?
Scale से पिटाई हो सकती है ज़्यादा lollipop खाने पे.
That's right. Very nice. Okay. So scale से पिटाई होगी कि मतलब you have actually beaten the child because the child was eating a lot of lollipop. So okay. Now 10. What is 10? We have a compass here, and what is or? That is bat ball. Bat ball and compass. Bat ball and compass.
On the field, bat and ball are playing, and the compass is a wicket keeper.
Compass is a wicket keeper. Okay, great. Absolutely. Now we'll only take up this 10 and now try to remember whether we remember that or not, right? Sorry. Yeah. So what is हमारा first क्या है?
Lamp.
बस हमको we don't have to say कि first में stick है. Stick के साथ क्या था? जो object यहाँ lamp था.
Lamp.
10th पे क्या है? What is in 10th?
Compass.
Compass. 2 पे क्या है हमारा?
Laptop.
And what was the thing? Who was Duck was sitting onto this thing, right? Great. 9 पे क्या है?
Lollipop with scale.
Ruler.
Scale. Yeah, scale. Because we had beaten the child or whosoever because the child was eating a lot of lollipop. 3rd पे क्या है? 3rd पे what we have is
Mobile.
exactly.
Heart with bubble shape.
7th पे क्या है?
Football. Lamp and football.
Yes, lamp and football, right? Absolutely. 8th पे क्या है?
Lunchbox.
Tiffin
lunch
box
box,
and spectacles.
spectacles,
So tiffin box, right? तो हमारा fourth पे क्या है?
Chair.
board,
Chair,
Chair, piano.
Goat and chair.
yeah, keyboard, right? Keyboard, playing a keyboard. Now fifth पे क्या है?
Eraser.
eraser.
Shape
Hook
of
and eraser. Hook and
Hook, hook.
eraser.
hook and eraser, right? Absolutely. And sixth पे क्या है हमारा?
Mic and
Mic.
Mic, right?
Elephant trunk.
Right? So was it not simple today? If you really talk about it, would you really forget that so easily? You won't, right?
No.
Because you created the association. Similarly, when you talk about that, it's like, ultimately you can create for rest of the thing also. But I'm just wanted to show you how easy it is to basically learn that, right? How easy it is to learn that. So idea is that how does it help you into the studies? Let's say each sentence has got a keyword. My name is Rajul Srivastava, so name is the keyword here. I go to MIT International School. School is the keyword here. So similarly, these are the keywords that we were talking about it. So to remember and to recall the sentence, that keyword becomes your additional association word. So that is the way you can actually remember. This is till 20. When we teach the child, we teach them till 100, right? So I'm just giving an example how beautifully in sequential manner, you can remember the things. And anybody for that matter, if you ask somebody that who is the 14th Prime Minister of India, there are many instances that we have to remember the sequence wise. So that's the way you remember, right? I mean, just an example. And this is a simple technique, but the idea is nobody teaches us. And therefore, we don't know anything about the technique. If I talk about a major technique, which is like where 100 numeric digit number, if I say 784234057621987218456897, if I give you 100 digit number, numeric number, and if I ask you to remember or memorize, is it practically possible for you to do that? No. But then I can tell you with the practice, within 5 to 6 minutes, you will be able to memorize all the 100 numeric digit. And where it helps you at many places to remember the births of the like history mein hoti na, dates hoti and all this stuff, to remember your account numbers, to associate things and all this stuff, and a lot of other places where you get the benefit. So these things are very, very important, but that's not never being taught to the child, right? So it was just a small demonstration to happen. Similarly, when you talk in terms of an NLP, neuro linguistic programming, we think that हमको ही सारा जो stress होता है, it's only we get it as an adult. But trust me, students get a lot of stress today. And it's also very important that through the techniques, which are well-known techniques by NLP for students, they need to learn that techniques and inculcate that constantly. They should try to inculcate that. And it should be something which are easier to do, not something which is very complicated. I'll give an example. If a child drinks a water, and water can be actually charged, and that is being demonstrated by the Dr. Emoto's experiment on water, right? So this particular experiment shows that water, I mean, if you say something to the water, if you charge the water with the positivity and you drink that water, the things will start happening for you. The things will start happening for you. When you take a shower in the morning and you feel that, if you really want to be successful in business, you want a lot of money to come into you, and you start imagining and visualizing every time that you take a shower that the money is coming to you and like that the positive this thing is coming to you, it'll start happening, right? So idea is that NLP, if you believe, has got a lot of power. If you don't believe, it doesn't have. So it's simple, but important is that each child should know that. So therefore, it is very important to learn all these things. And wheel of life, goal setting, mind mapping. The best part is ki under one roof, if you teach the child all the techniques and the child doesn't have to really struggle to find different gurus for different things, and you are the one delivering in a 1 day's workshop, you take an online workshop from morning to evening, maybe about 5 hours workshop, and just demonstrate and have a very happy and like kind of a learning and like, the session with them with lunch breaks and like a lot of fun and a lot of dance numbers and a lot of learning on all these techniques. And if you create a 1 day workshop, I mean, how would that be? The children will be thrilled and they would be happy and their learnability will become faster, right? I mean, do you agree that this kind of a things are really going to help the child? These are called study skills which are not being taught anywhere. So this is something that I'm talking about it. Now, if you really look at it, I'm just saying, if you put this like, if you have this, if you just put in terms of how much can you earn out of it, it's a very simple thing. If you keep the price as 999 rupees, I'm saying just if you're doing an online workshop for let's say 5 hours from let's say 11 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the evening, and you give a lunch break in between and something like that, and you charge 999 rupees where you're giving them these live demonstration to a group of 50 students or 100 students or whatever it is, let's say, and you do this and you do the 60 enrollment, which is 15 enrollment per day, sorry, per week, and 2 enrollments per day from, and you get let's say 10 inquiries, and you call up 10 people and 2 people get converted who pay you 999 rupees, that is 1000 rupees. So every day you get 2 customers for 1000 rupees each. So, and in 15 in 1 week you get 15 customer, and in 4 weeks, that is a month, you get 60 customer. 60 customers and you're charging 1000 rupees gets you 60,000 rupees. It's a simple calculation. Marketing expense is going to be roughly about 20,000 because you will spend some money in digital marketing to get those customers. I'm not talking about the one that will have to, like keep on going to different places and keep on requesting people, why don't you do that? You don't have to do that, right? Place a campaign onto the Facebook and the inquiries will come in. Marketing expense आपका 20,000 हो गया तो 40,000 rupees का आपका clean profitability है. You have a clean profitability of 40,000 rupees coming to you right now. I know, I mean, people might say this is something which is very normal. I mean, for 40,000 rupees, not what I'm aiming at. And there are certain people who say, wow, 40,000 rupees just by conducting a 1 day workshop, this really good, right? So idea is that everybody has got a different feeling. I'm sure many of the people might say it's not enough, but then ultimately the purpose is not to basically sell this workshop only. We have sold this workshop and for 1000 rupees, but ultimately what we have done is we have built up the trust. We have invested, we have induced the trust into the people. People only buy the product from you when they trust you. When they don't trust you, they will not buy the product from you. So important is that you need to do the trust building. So when you do a trust building, you cannot do a trust building by 10,000 rupees product. You have to do a trust building with a product which is very valuable. You are giving 10 times the value, because what is the value of a person who doesn't take an interest into study, and after learning the study skills, his or her learnability becomes faster, and you are just charging 999 rupees and like doing the whole day workshop with them, and it's a lot of fun. And thereafter, you are also giving the children a certification as a memory master, or maybe memory this thing, or speed reading. I mean, the study skill certificate or whatever it is, which is a feel good factor, all for 999 rupees you're giving them. How many customers can you get it? I'm sure like you would agree with me that, because these things are not available anywhere. Nobody teaches them. So what you're doing is, that's not the 40,000 rupees benefit or 60,000 rupees benefit that you're going to take home. That's only the idea where you're getting benefited also. You're earning only a small amount of money, but you're building a trust for the next level of product.